You are watching the Learn, Grow, Repeat with J. Marie and Laditeesh podcast channel. We hope that you are inspired, encouraged, and even entertained. Be sure to hit the like button, leave us a comment, and join our online tribe by hitting subscribe. Let's get into it. Welcome.
I cannot believe this is our first episode.
I know.
We've been hyping this thing up. We've been promoting and hyping this thing up, and people like, where is this episode already?
Child, the pressure, because we ain't have nothing.
Nothing already.
Promoting, and ain't got a single episode of nothing, Jesus. Like, come on. But we here now. We getting our act together.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it's the first one.
It's the first one.
So I'm excited. How about you?
I'm very excited. This is if I start stuttering or if that heavy Jersey accent takes over.
It's bound to happen.
It's nerves. It's a combination of nerves and just trying to get all my thoughts out at one time. So
it's bound to happen. But at the end of the day, so long as we are connecting with people, so long as we are, speaking our truth, because this is our platform, and, brighten up somebody's day, it's worth it. It's
absolutely.
Worth it. So cheers to episode 1 of Learn, Grow, Repeat with J. Marie and Laditeesh.
Not holla. That just showed that just showed
your age
my God,
right there. Yeah.
Holla just showed your age right there,
I legit just turned 36, so
I don't know anything about those years.
Listen.
I have not made it yet.
I'm not ashamed. I'm proud to be 36, okay?
I know that's right. I'm proud to not be 36.
Child, you ain't far behind. So tread lightly, my dear. Tread lightly. So, okay, being our first episode, for those of you who are listening and don't know us personally, I am Letitia, aka Laditeesh, and
I'm Jocelyn,
aka
J. Marie, aka Marie Moments, aka Marie Messages, aka
Lord
Resume Makeover, aka
Lord, child, y'all. Y'all see what y'all in for, right? And we are indeed related. We are first cousins, God sisters.
God sisters. My mama daughter before me.
I was. And I would go on record and still say I'm her favorite.
Oh my goodness.
But you know what? I was actually talking to my one of my friends, and I was telling her about the podcast. And I was telling her that I'm doing it with my cousin. She's also my god sister. And she was like totally foreign to the concept of like god sister. Mm-hmm. She was like, we definitely made that up. And I was like, no, we didn't. Like, that's a thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know how y'all, and she wasn't black, but still, I was like, I don't know how y'all roll.
Yeah.
But she was like, no. She said, I would never consider, my, husband's godchild as my kid's god sister or brother. I was like, well, we do.
Yeah, we definitely do.
We do.
We definitely do. So no, I got 3 god kids. Those my children too.
I got 7 of them then.
I'm sure you do.
I got 7 of them.
You got too many.
Teach a lot of kids. What can I say?
I know.
I love the kids. And best to believe I will do whatever it takes. So that's us, originally from Jersey City, all the way
off the hill. Ocean and Jackson, what's up?
Oh my god.
Like I really was outside from Ocean and Jackson.
I know we wasn't, because
I wasn't outside.
They
know. What block you from? How long you been there? All my life.
And you've been there all your life. Yes.
All my life. We never came on the block.
But we was not outside. Nope. But we was there. That's where I'm from, born and raised.
That's where I'm from all day.
And me, lived in South Jersey for a few years, and pandemic recently, my family and I, we got up and left. We chucked those deuces. And we are in the A. So that's where we at now, doing this podcast remote. Thank God for technology.
Technology, for real.
Mm-hmm. That's like the one silver lining in this whole mess that we're in is, the technology. You know what I mean? And even though, we're in different places right now, we're still able to
do this. Yes, absolutely.
Like this.
We're still able to do it. And that's exciting. I wish, because we did live so close to each other before you relocated, we decided to do this once you left. Very strange. Very odd.
But everything in God's timing.
Absolutely.
Everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
Because I tell you what, I was in a different headspace when I was your neighbor. And so I probably would not have been willing, and it wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I was in a totally different headspace when I was your neighbor. But I'm free now. I'm free now. And, it's all good. So everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. I definitely do agree. But, I think because it's our first episode, we should do something fun to like break the ice, give the audience an opportunity to know us a little better. So they have a little background on us already. And I know we shared some of the posts too, how they can meet us and all that good stuff, flooding timelines. Flooding y'all
timeline. Share in DMs. Like my new page. Yes.
We was not playing around. Listen, we both some branded and marketing fools. You hear me?
Yes.
Branded and marketing.
Gotta put that degree to use somehow, because sure enough, not using it in my 9 to 5. I tell you that.
Yeah. So like, I think we should do something fun. So a little bit about me is that I love to take risks. I am Sagittarius.
I'm the opposite, child.
And you are the complete opposite. So, and I think that's what's going to allow our audience is going to appeal to different audiences. I mean, our story will appeal to different audiences because we are different. We're alike, we're similar, but we're different.
Right.
And I truly believe there's someone like both of us out there listening. Like, you know what? Yeah.
Wait, one person like both of us?
Oh, no. I want to meet that person.
Me too, child.
I want to meet that person. So let's play the game. Never have I ever.
Okay.
And if you have to take a sip. You got something to drink, right?
I do have something to drink.
I'm sure it's a virgin.
And because I don't drink, I am currently drinking sparkling coconut water.
Oh, excuse me. Real fancy. Put your pinky out. Go ahead, put your pinky out.
Don't do me. Don't do me. What you got?
All right. So, never have I ever traveled internationally.
So I say,
if you have, you take a drink.
Have?
No, you take a drink. But you could say you have for the listeners, though.
Okay, I have.
Okay. Your turn.
Okay. Never have I ever shoplifted and or dined and dashed.
I have.
I have not, so I won't be taking a drink. Now, which one was it? Shoplifted or dined and dashed?
Both.
Oh my God, child.
Don't judge me, and don't nobody call nobody.
This is no. Let's take the record straight from jump. This is a safe place, okay? There are absolutely no judgments whatsoever. The whole theme of the show is learning and growing, and the process of learning and growing on repeat. So,
not repeating the shoplifting, not repeating that.
But there was a lesson in that. You grew from that.
Absolutely. I grew from that.
There you go. Your turn.
All right. Never have I ever got a Brazilian wax.
I have not.
I have. Your turn.
I don't know. Listen, I'm crying right now. Like I'm literally laughing, crying. Try not to mess up my eyeliner, y'all. Okay. Never have I ever shot a gun.
I have.
Never have I ever been on TV. I have. What you was on?
You don't remember back in the day when I was on BET College Fest?
Child, no.
I was singing, but it was the not College Fest. What was it called? I was at Virginia Union and I performed. And I performed and I was on it. It was the college tour. You know how the BET used to do the college tours? Yes. They came to campus at Virginia Union, VUU, shout out. And I sung and it came on. And honestly, I thought it was you because I remember that it was at Aunt Jeanette's house, at your mom's house, that y'all saw it.
Child, I cannot remember my age sometimes, okay? Like I literally just turned 36 and that's why I remember. So I probably did see it.
Years ago.
I probably did see
Many years ago, but college time.
I said, and you know my claim to fame. When I was on Becoming Destiny's Child on MTV, I was with Kelly Rowland. Okay, I had my 30 minutes to shine. Skip school and everything to be on that episode. Okay, but that was fun. That was definitely a once in a lifetime experience. Did the whole makeover thing that was recorded. We got on stage. We dressed in their costumes, performed. So that was cool.
Yeah, I remember that. I'll definitely remember that.
It was a big deal. Go ahead, you go.
Never have I ever lied to get ahead.
I have, I'm sure. I can't think of anything. You know, I actually have one like similar to this. I was gonna ask you, never have I ever like lied on a resume or in an interview.
I have. However, I don't do that for my clients.
And I wouldn't say like completely lie. I would just say like embellish the truth. Like I add little sprinkles on it.
Lie.
I put a little glitter on it. You know what I mean? Embellished it.
Lie.
You got another one?
Yeah. Never have I ever felt unattractive.
Oh, I have.
I have to.
That's a whole episode, child. I have. At different parts of my life too. Yeah. We can dive deep on that. Check us out, episode 4, something like that. For that convo. Okay. Never have I ever accidentally sent a text about someone to the person that you were actually talking about.
Oh, I have. That is so embarrassing. I have. Oh my gosh.
You're making me cry. I sure did.
What I've done, I was seeing this guy and we had a situation, and my girlfriend, my close girlfriend at the time, we text all the time. So she was asking me how it went. And I'm talking about the guy. And I'm like, it was horrible. He this is that. And I sent it to him, not her. He was like, wow, I didn't know you felt that way. I was so, oh my God. I was so embarrassed.
Listen.
I'm like, oh.
Truth hurts. They say the truth hurts, right?
It does, but I don't like to intentionally hurt something. Like that's something I would have never told him. Like,
right.
It was just like, oh my gosh.
But you know what? It's the moment when you realize, dang, like I messed up. It's like the sunken place. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that.
Yes.
It's real, man. It's real. Never have I ever hated someone just because my best friend hated them.
I have.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is, see, I've had my best friend, also my sister, not biological, but my sister, she don't like them. I don't like them either. Sometimes I don't know why I don't like them, but I just know I can't like them because she don't like them. And I want that to be reciprocated. So if my best friend is listening right now, please understand this is to you. So it's so petty and childish. Like, I don't feel like, but yeah.
Well, definitely, like my sister, my biological sister, like if she was at like odds with somebody, oh, you was my enemy too, because I don't play when it comes to my sister.
Seriously, the posts that we've been posted up, I love that. I think as time has been going, people are engaging more and sharing and things like that. And but they was loving that boundaries.
Listen, so we posted, y'all, about 2 weeks ago now, right? A clip of us just discussing boundaries, and the streets responded, and they wanted to hear more. The streets was buzzing. Okay, they wanted to hear more. And I think what people didn't realize was that wasn't even part of an episode. Like, that was just me and you talking like cousins do. You know what I mean? But, you know, I wonder, what is it about boundaries that you think that struck a chord in people? Like, what is it? Like, because people were like all over that. I want to hear the full conversation.
I think it's because it's something that we all can relate to. I think it's because I feel like we all struggle with boundaries in some way, shape, or form. And it may not be in all relationships. It may be in some of your relationships. And, you know, some women and men too have great boundaries when it comes to romantic relationships, but don't have great boundaries when it comes to your relationships with family or with friends, or vice versa. So I think it's that topic alone. It resonates with all of us, because I think that's something that's universal, that we all struggle in some way, shape, or form,
or definitely have to deal with. You know
absolutely,
what I mean?
Absolutely. And it's a skill. It's a skill. And it's something that you have to work on, you know. So hear all the sirens.
Nah, I hear nothing.
It's definitely a skill. So I think we should definitely talk more about that and what boundaries really are, because I also don't think everyone has the same definition of it, of what boundaries are. So
let me ask you. So do you think that boundaries are like a to-do list, or like a not to-do list for other people to follow? Or is it more like your standard? This is my vibe. This is how I roll.
I think it's your standard. I think it's more so teaching people how to treat you,
right,
and what you're willing to tolerate and things like that. So for instance, if you touch on boundaries, because I'm fresh into the dating world now, and one of the things that I've learned when I took time for my self-care after ending my engagement is that I had to make sure I had boundaries in place with starting any type of relationship. And with that being said, I needed to be clear on what I was willing to tolerate and what I wasn't. Right. So that other person will know, okay, if I cross this boundary, or if I overstep this boundary, I can potentially risk losing this relationship, losing this connection with me, because it's so important to me. And it is a defense mechanism as well, because it's protecting me and my peace and what I'm willing to deal with.
Join the conversation by emailing your questions to learn.grow.repeat@gmail.com. Be a part of our online tribe by following the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at Learn.Grow.Repeat. Now let's get into the episode. Exactly. And I agree 100%. To me, boundaries is about self-awareness, and it's more about you or me, speaking first person. So it's more about me than it is the other person. So you touched on it, like boundaries is like saying, okay, this is what I am willing to accept, and this is what I'm not willing to tolerate. That other person can do them. However, if you continue to overstep my boundary, I've made it clear, I've made it known. And then at that point, I got to do me, to me, boundaries, and you actually said this too. And I agree that boundaries is about, making my space safe. So yes. My mental, my physical, my spiritual, my emotional space, safe, because I can only control me. I can't control what other people do. You know what I mean? So because I can only control what, my space, that's the only thing that I have really, control over, which is why, I believe that boundaries is more about you than that other person.
Than the other person. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. That's why I had to answer your question in the way I answered it, because it's not a to-do list. I truly believe it's not a to-do list. It really is about you. And boundaries is a huge part of self-care. It's a huge part of saying that I'm putting myself first and I'm putting my feelings first.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people, like, we're in an age where, we're scrolling through our phones and we're seeing basically people's highlight reels, of their life. We're seeing the best of the best. And what people don't really realize is that work goes into success. You know what I mean? Work goes into a thriving relationship, and not just, interpersonal relationship, but one with yourself. You know what I mean? Like you gotta work on self too. So to me, a key to, setting healthy boundaries is having a heart-to-heart with yourself. Like you really gotta talk to yourself about the treatment you desire. Have an honest conversation with yourself. I tell my kids this all the time that, nobody can take away from you what you know. And when you know something, you can walk boldly in that, right? Mm-hmm. So when you are self-aware and your boundaries are set and known to you, you can then communicate that in confidence, walk it out in boldness, and recognize those relationships that, okay, this one's treading the borderline and I might have to take action. You know what I mean?
I have to cut off that
right.
that weight, cut off
right.
that extra fat.
Yeah.
It's so, boundaries has so many levels to it. And when I was in therapy, one of my therapy sessions, we touched on boundaries because, boundaries play a huge role when you have codependency, especially with people who are irresponsible. And when I say that, I'm talking about the relationship of, say, if you have a sibling who just keeps quitting their job because they just know they're going to be all right. They can always move back in with mommy. They can move in with their sister, their brother, and that's the irresponsibility part of it. And then it's the codependency part of it too. So if the other people do not put their boundaries in place, like, listen, you're an adult. You got to do what you got to do. Mm-hmm. You can't just, you quit your job. That's your choice. I can't control that. However, you can't move back in my house neither.
Right.
You got to have a plan. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have a plan. That's a boundary. And you know what I mean? So it's so, like I said, it's in different relationships. Boundaries in work.
Oh yeah.
As an assistant, as a executive assistant, I've worked with so many people where, you know, these higher managers, they just think you're supposed to do any and everything for them. No, I set the tone off the rip of what I will do and what I will not do. And I say it professionally. You don't have to have an attitude. You don't have to be malicious in your tone or anything, but you just need to be direct and you need to be clear, and you need to stand with that. You need to, like you said, you have to really be bold with it, because people will take advantage of that. People will take advantage if you don't set those boundaries. People will take your kindness for weakness. People will manipulate you to do things,
or honestly, or just try you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And they do it because that's who they are. You know what I mean? So especially in the workplace, like I've been working in like corporate America since I was 16, internship. Like, so there has always been, in every place, you know, that I've worked, there has always been a situation where the boundary, which my professional boundary is like, do not speak to me in a demeaning way, or like in a way as if I am less than.
Absolutely.
You know, like when I tell you that one is a no-go for me, like I don't, it don't sit well with me. So that's one that, you know, I feel like, you know, I have ended coworker relationship, like friendships, like, okay, no more lunches together, no more, you know, water cooler or printer conversations. It's strictly business from now on. You know what I mean? I've had to do that. I've had to go into the conference room and shut the door behind me and hash things out.
Oh, I've
had to do that.
I had to do that as well. I had to do that as well, because it's important, because you have to set that tone. And usually I work with people who are a lot older than me, that are usually typically my parents' age. I'm young. And I have, you know, I have three things against me. I always say I'm millennial, I'm woman, and I'm Black.
I'm gonna say, add that.
So all three of those right there is already putting me on a level where I got to make sure I don't hit any stereotypes, because I think millennials are entitled, you know, and especially in the workplace, they think millennials are entitled. They think women are needy. They think it's millennials, women, and what was the other one I said? Black. Oh, and then you're a Black woman, so they're gonna think we have attitude. We're gonna be late. We're gonna be all of these different things. So then I come in here, tone of voice change. You know what I mean?
Tear down all those stereotypes, because
everything.
you got the right one today.
Everything. And now they got to find something. Now they want to test. They got to test it out. Oh, you know, I listen to music when I work. I don't blast it. And I know the specific things to listen to because of the event of someone passing by. Always got to keep a professional environment. But at the same time, I'm still going to be jostling. So I recall one of my coworkers going to my boss saying, she's blasting rap music.
Not the rap. Oh no.
My gosh. They were cursing. They would do
that rap music.
They was cursing and everything. My boss walks up to my desk and he hears what I'm listening to, and he told me what was said. You know what I was listening to? I was listening to gospel. Not rap, not hip hop, not anything.
Well, in your coworker's defense, some of the gospel today, you don't know if it's rap, reggae, like
they ain't hear no curse words. They hear no curse. I listen to everything. You never know. You could walk by and it'll be Motown hits on.
Right.
It'll be some reggae, dancehall, soca on. You just never know. I'm a music head. I listen to everything. One time I had jazz music on. They didn't know if they wanted to go to sleep or talk about the instruments they was listening to.
Right. But you hit it on the nose when you said that, you know, when you kill those three stereotypes, because you go in there and you do what you're supposed to do, and I'm good at it. You know what I mean? They got to find something. And normally it's, you know, crossing the boundary. Like, no, I'm not I'm not one of those. Like, I'm not a punching bag or somebody who you're just gonna do any and everything to. Like, no, because the same way I found this one, I can find another one. Like, let that be known.
Now that's just a millennial mentality. That's something that the baby boomers wish they had.
I walk in that
for 25 years, unhappy. And I go through that too. I go into these jobs and people are, again, 50 plus years old. And they're like, I've been here for 20 years and you came in here making the same amount as me or more. And I just got to this point. I said, that sounds like a real personal problem, because there's no way I will be making what you're making. What I'm making now, I would not be making this in my 50s. But again, that's our millennial mentality, and that's also the boundaries too. If we see there's nowhere to go, we will quit, because we know there's other opportunities out there. Like, we're not the ones like trying to be loyal to a job that will get rid of you in a heartbeat. They will toss you like nothing.
They would toss you and replace you. Like, please. And I'm not gonna act like I wasn't wrapped up in it before, but after in my current industry, after 12 years in my current industry, like, I'm a totally different person. I'm a totally different person. And, you know, closed mouths don't get fed. You know what I mean? And that's with salary, that's with perks, that's with opportunity, and the whole nine. You know what I mean? And if I feel like I've reached a point and I don't see any more growth or opportunity here, like you said, I don't think twice about, okay, it's time.
I mean, it's definitely setting a standard. It is a boundary. Again, that's still a boundary. It's just in a different way.
Right.
And I think that's why it was important to discuss it even further, because there's people have different definitions of what boundaries are. And again, boundaries is what's for you. So what may be for you may not be for me, and vice versa.
Right. So do you typically let's reel it into like relationships. Like, so do you typically set boundaries because of conflict or some type of like ill treatment towards you? Or is boundaries something that you like casually discuss even when you like organically are vibing with somebody?
When I'm organically vibing with someone, and I would have to say now, because again, I have grown so much, at least in the past 2 to 3 years, that the Jocelyn 2 years ago would not have the same response I may be giving now, because I had to go through some things to get to the point where I am now. And I'm still growing and I'm still learning, because boundaries are difficult. Boundaries can be very difficult, but when you're getting to know someone and you're vibing with someone that you think you can potentially be with, you know, you have to teach them how to treat you. Because what I've noticed, especially with men, is that men and women we are very different. We're very different. And a woman, because I love him, and I'm not saying all women, but a lot of women will tolerate a little bit more than what a man would.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. I have close male friends and my male cousins. I've seen it. Toss women away like nothing. They do something or step outside their box, they done with them. You know, and for women, you know, sometimes we'll go through the different levels. We'll go through the anger, then we'll go through okay, let's weigh the pros and cons, like really analyze the situation and go, I guess, not go against your boundaries, but start to make some accommodations, like start to bend. Willing to bend. There we go. You know, so I think it's important, especially in the beginning, to put it out there, because I put it out there, and I'm telling you right now, I let them know, like, listen, I done been through it all. I know the signs. I know what it looks like. I'm telling you, you cheat, just forget it. I'm done. I did it already. So don't be mad at me now. Be mad at those dudes I was with in the past that done took up all the time and space and patience that I don't have anymore. I'm getting too old and I'm ready for something real, and I ain't got time to play.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it is. And if you're trying to play, I'm just not the one for you.
Learn and grow.
And that's just what it is.
Grow. Like, I agree with, with you 100%. I feel like, in our relationships, because they mean, like, I don't think that we were created here, to be alone or to do life on our own. On our
I agree.
own. Relationships matter. You know what I mean? So, and I've always been this way. Like, I've always taken the proactive approach to life rather than the reactive, which kind of shot me in the foot sometimes, because I am not a risk taker. Like, I am a calculated overthinker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I plan, and I observe a lot. So I will watch how somebody, went through something or how they handle a situation, and I'll make mental note. Okay, if I ever encounter that, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm not going to do. Like, I've always been that way, my entire life. But I feel like, it's definitely made me cautious, and that I feel like boundaries is something that you should definitely discuss, or, bring it up somehow in the formation process of a relationship, you know what I mean? In the developmental, stages of a relationship. Like, you should definitely have the difficult conversations. Like, let's not just, stay on the surface. Let's dig deep. Let's figure out if we work, if we vibe early on. Because like you said, time is of the essence. You know what I mean? It
truly is.
And it's so valuable. And if I didn't learn anything else this year, like, I learned that, I want to spend whatever time God graces me with on this earth. Like, I want to spend it with people who are for me, who love me, and who value me. You know what I mean? So I really think that it's important that we cultivate, have those discussions early on, so that you can cultivate those relationships that really, feed you and nourish you, rather than wasting time and something that's, not fruitful.
And wasting time is something I got a PhD in. So I've wasted many years in relationships because I was always trying and bending on my boundaries and bending on, so I'm the opposite of you, how you planned and calculated and things like that, and analyzed and watched what other people went through, and like, I don't want to go. Like, you see the fire in the kitchen, you like, I ain't going in there, because I seen it just burnt the girl that ran out the kitchen. I'm the behind that'll go in that kitchen.
Don't go in that kitchen.
I'm gonna go in that kitchen. I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna just touch it real quick. I'm gonna do it like Nemo and Finding Nemo. Don't you touch that boat, Nemo. If you don't touch that boat, that's me. That was me. And I would just go and see. No, I'm different.
Right.
I'm different. I'm going to be the one. I'm gonna be the one he gonna marry. I ain't gonna be the baby mama. Oh, they the baby mamas because they did this, that. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I don't do none of that stuff they did. I'm gonna be the wife. I ain't get to be the wife. I got to be the fiance. But no, that thinking, that's no boundaries.
That compromising. Yeah,
I compromise myself. And that's something I feel a lot of women do. Stop compromising yourself. And I can say that because I've done it time and time again. And maybe if I hadn't compromised myself so often, I probably would have been married by now to someone who was worthy of me, who was willing to meet me and was willing to dive in the same way I was diving in.
But what is that? Like, I feel like now, we into this thing where, we vibing, you know what I mean? We got good chemistry. But, and I say this too, like, chemistry alone and love alone, like, it ain't enough. Like, it's not enough, because you're dealing with individuals, you know what I mean? So we may vibe organically, you know what I mean? We may have chemistry, but how does the dynamic of our relationship shift and change when conflict arises? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I forget who said it, but it's like, you need to see your people in all four seasons. You know what I mean? You need to see how people deal with tough situations, because that reveals a lot. If they got anger issues, or if they gonna lash out and speak to you in your kind of way because they mad, or, you know, whatever. If they get physical, like anything like that. You know what I mean? So I think that we get so hung up on vibes and chemistry and even love sometimes. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who I love who I don't let into certain spaces anymore. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And it's important to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to do that. I personally had to do that in the past year with family members.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You did some foul stuff. I tried to communicate that with you in a safe space. You weren't ready, or you weren't receiving what I was trying to say. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. But your energy and what you bring doesn't fit in what I got going on anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's a boundary. And honestly, I've been at peace since. I'm okay. I'm okay to say, no, I'm not going. Oh, the Lord, if my mother listening, she gonna say she talking about me. So I'm just gonna make it clear. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Nah. But yeah, she, you know, she's like, you know, huge on family. We need to go here. We need to go to this event, that event. And if it's a family member I don't feel comfortable with, or I'm not in a space, you know, I'm not in a place where I want to be around them because of how they treat me or how they treat my children. I personally, I just won't go. And that's just because I don't want to feel uncomfortable.
Right.
It's not about them. They probably have smile on my face, act fake, phone you, or all in between. It ain't about them. I just don't feel comfortable. And you know, you go through that.
It's about you.
It's really about,
boundaries are really about you at the end of the day. And it's like, you really gotta draw the line in the sand. And it's not to be malicious or mean or anything like that. Again, keeping my space safe. Because, you know, we're dealing with our own stuff. Everybody is dealing with something. You know what I mean? But again, you can only control you. So if I have the means and the influence and the power to prevent me from experiencing something that is going to make me depressed, make me angry, and act all kinds of colorful, you know what I mean? And really take me out of my, like, why would I do that? Why would I do that? Especially knowing how valuable time is. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
And also too, what I've learned as well is that sometimes the people that overstep your boundaries the most, they know you very well and they know your triggers. So like the passive aggressiveness drives me crazy. The fake, oh my gosh, the fake kiki jokes that ain't really jokes, but they like attacking you and shady and jabs. And then you're like, yeah, no, that's not funny. And now you're ready to curse them out. Yeah. Like, no, because you're not going to make me step out of character. You know, I'm coming to the barbecue to get my eat on, my chill on, some laughs, maybe a drink or two, and go home. I'm not here for that. You know what I'm saying? But the wrong joke from the wrong person could set everything all the way off.
Ciao.
That's why you just got to know what you can tolerate, what's best for you. And if you can't do it, you just can't go. And you ain't got to explain it to nobody.
No.
I just can't go.
I tell you, I avoid situations all together, because you know why? Because when people want, like, they don't need to look for anything. Like, if their mind is made up to feel this way about you or to have something to say about you, they're gonna find it. You know what I mean? So whether I show up, you're gonna find something to say, or if I don't show up, you still gonna be talking. So I might as well be at peace and not even show up to the party. You know what I mean? Because it ain't worth it to me. Like, really, I'm telling you, And I think when people really experience, you know, the peace which surpasses all understanding, like seriously, when you taste that, Jocelyn, like I'm just not willing. I'm not willing any longer to handle that irresponsibly. Really, you know what I mean? Like
it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah,
it's the truth. And for someone who has had a drama-filled life, had a drama-filled life, I can honestly say, although it's a little boring because ain't a lot going on, I'm actually enjoying the boredom.
I love
the boredom is nice. I love to sleep at night. You know, you see those posts all the time. I sleep well at night because I know I'm not getting cheated on. That is such a reality for me, because every relationship I've been in, I've been cheated on, and I would know before it even I had the proof. Right. I would feel it. I would get that anxiety. I couldn't sleep, things like that. And when you don't have that anymore, when you're not looking, you ain't stalking pages, doing all that stuff. When you're not doing none of that and you really just focus on you and getting what's yours, it's like you sleeping better, you waking up with a hole on the side, a crust in the side of your eyes. Like you are at a place where you're like, you know what? I still have a lot going on, but it ain't the mess. It's just regular life. Right. You know what I mean? Right. It's not the mess. I don't have a Love and Hip Hop episode going on.
There's a difference, right? There's a difference.
It's different.
We carry a load. We do every day.
Every day.
But that drama is a totally different yoke. You know what I mean? Totally different.
Unnecessary yoke. You know, we want egg whites. We don't want that yolk.
I want something light and fluffy.
Light and fluffy.
Light and fluffy yolks, right? Like, no. And like, you know, people call me the preacher, but listen, I'm telling you, I live by it. I don't recall the scripture, but it's one that talks about, you know, let the peace of God rule your heart. Like, Jocelyn, if Tisha is not at peace with the situation, like, and I'm not like, I am or was a people pleaser, like for sure, a people pleaser all day, all night. I would burn myself at both ends of the candle and then end up the next day with a migraine because I done wore myself out. Like I've made myself sick being a people pleaser. But once you start understanding who you are in Christ, who you like, get your identity from Him, and walk boldly in your truth, and like you said, not knowing and being confident and not having a like that. No, period.
It's a sentence.
Is a life changer. It's a life changer. No, period. And I don't care who you are. You know what I mean? Because I had to tell, you know, J-Dub, like, my mama. No, period. No, period. No. And it's not being disrespectful or anything like that. It's like I gotta protect my peace.
Like, no. So, it's okay you don't understand. It's okay you don't get it. But no. What? No.
So
please.
And I think you can walk in it. You can walk in it when you experience it. Because when you experience it, you ain't nah. Nope. I done had it. I done tasted it. And I'm not just gonna let any old body have free range and access. Like, no. So what is a boundary that you feel like you keep having to restate and reiterate in your different relationships, like something that keeps coming up?
I think it's just the boundary of no, I'm not going. That is the most frequent thing, at least right now for me. And that is because you know, when family used to you doing certain things for years, it's like, what's wrong? Why are you not doing it now? You know? So I'm at a point where I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. It's too much for me. No, I can't do it. And why you can't do it? I'm just at a point, I just don't want to explain my why.
Right.
It's like, I said, no, why are you trying to convince me? Like, I don't want to go. I have my reasons, and I don't have to justify it. I don't have to explain it. I don't have to put the PowerPoint presentation and show you
because that's what
examples.
it is. Like,
I don't
no,
have to do that.
no.
No, I said no. And I say it with love and I say it respectfully, but no, I'll pass. But thank you for the invitation.
And mean it, and totally mean it. Like,
and mean it,
no
and be
shade.
okay, and be okay with it. And if you want to know what's going on, jump on the live, because I'm sure somebody gonna be on live and take a quick glimpse and they see you pop
I'm not gonna miss nothing. You ain't gonna miss nothing, right?
Yeah, I'll pop in, but I ain't gotta be in the mix.
But I think, you know, it really comes down to, I think our generation, we're kind of blooming in it, and our parents, you know, they kind of lagged in the area where, you know, we had to like, or they had to like, you know, justify or give examples or explain. And, you know, we're like, I don't really have to do that though. Like, I can just, you know, say what I mean and continue with my day. Like, I don't have to dwell on it. Like you said, I don't have to do a whole, you know, presentation, give you my 3 points in a closing. Like, I don't gotta do that. I don't have to. And I'm not being dismissive. It's just wasted time and energy because I'm not changing my mind. You know what I mean?
It's just gonna frustrate you. Just accept my no, because all it's gonna do is gonna frustrate you. And I don't want you to be frustrated. I don't want you to be upset with me. I don't want any of that. That's not the point. It has nothing to do with you. Decisions people make don't have nothing to do with the other person. It has to do with them.
Right.
I decided that I don't want to go. I decided I wanted to cheat. I decided I wanted to curse you out. I decided to disrespect you. I decided to not disrespect you. I decided to talk out sideways out my mouth. I decided to slap you upside your head. I mean, it's all decisions based on the person. So it's like, that is just a huge thing right now in my life, is the no boundary. Like, just no, and just leave it as that. Like, that's just what it is.
But on the flip side, I feel like, especially when you are developing a relationship, and not even a new one, like I feel like even with me being a mom, like I got like 11 years into the game right now, but in the beginning, you know, people who knew me as single, you know, Tisha, had to relearn me, because once you have a kid, you know what I mean, like, it changes your whole life perspective, you know what I mean. And I recall specifically the first time I had to tell my mom, like, pump the brakes. Like, you are Nana, but I am mommy. And I say, like, I have the final say in the situation. And no, it may not be how you would handle it, but I need you to, you know, relearn. Yes, I'm still your daughter, but I'm also a mother. And I have to walk in this, right? I have to walk in this. So I think that, you know, a relearning as you evolve needs to happen in those relationships that are worth it. And I think in those situations, it is beneficial to the fabric of that relationship to explain your boundary. You know what I mean? Like, everybody doesn't require or is worthy of an explanation. But I do feel like in certain relationships, like one as special to me as the one with my mother, you know, she crossed the boundary that she wasn't aware of, because that role of me being mom was new. Right. So then she had to then learn daughter/mother Tisha, you know, and, you know, and we had to figure that out. So we figured it out, but shoot, even though I said it, I was scared straight. I was scared straight when I said it, because my mother don't play. You know what I mean? She don't play, but I'm mommy now over here.
And that's the truth. And I went through the same thing with my mother. And, you know, I think, especially once I had my second child, it was already in place, you know. Right. So we're talking about 6 years later from my first child. So the first one, you know, that was different, you know. And also too, I noticed that people in my family, like as far as aunts and things like that, they would go to my mother about my child. What's going on with the? I'm like, she is not my sister. This is my daughter. And now it's to a point where I've even heard my mother call Jocelyn. What y'all asking me for? That's her child. What to get for Christmas? What to get the kids for Christmas? I don't know. What size they wear? Those not my kids. Those my daughter kids. Call my daughter. You know, that type of thing. And I can honestly say that my mother is doing phenomenal in that role now, understanding she is Mima. She plays the Mima role. She'll spoil them. She'll babysit to help me out when I need be, and really just be a grandma. You know what I mean? And action mother. My kids would be right over there with her, and they call me for every little thing. Like she'd be like, action mother, if it's okay. And I'm like, yes, Dee Dee, come on, Dee Dee, yes. I'm loving this.
Because JW did now too. She did now.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that in the beginning. I was like, I'm right here.
Right.
Or my mama get frustrated with me and she'll start yelling at me in front of the kids. I'm like, whoa, you tripping, lady. You tripping. You can't. And then it got to a point where also too, some maturity in myself had to take place as well. Right. I'm like, okay, I have to I know my mom. I know how to communicate with her and when to communicate with her. So I had to learn how to have these challenging conversations because again, you know, the way we were brought up, it was like, you know, you just didn't overstep certain things, you know. So it's like, but it was important because we had to do it as mothers. We had to, you know, let them know what is our role and what is your role. You know,
I think that once we walked in that boldly, they saw it. And like, I truly think that they admire us for it. You know what I mean? Because they'll make my mama, she'll make a comment about like, you know, I'm proud of how you handle that situation, or like you really doing your thing. Like, you know, like they'll, you know, make a comment or something like that. And it's like, listen, we got to find our way the way they found their way.
Absolutely. And it's a different time. And that's something also my mom always brings up. She's like, you know, you guys, y'all generation, it's so different than ours. You know, we are just, she said, these kids different. Everything is just.
These kids are different.
I said, please.
These
kids are different.
My mother, the way my kids test me.
Yes. My mother was like, yeah, you wasn't like this until you became a teenager. I'm like, oh, okay.
To close out our first episode, I'm going to leave our listeners with this final thought, right? So, successful relationships require intentionality and wise decision making. Don't be afraid to have deep conversations in the development phase of any relationship and make boundaries one of those topics. To sum it all up, it really comes down to your self-worth and knowing your value, because as we discussed, boundaries are more about you than the other person. For you can only govern you. Be assured in your self-worth so that you are able to recognize the red flags and even the green flags. Avoid those who mess with your head and who intentionally do and say things that they know upset you. Know your limits and name them, sis. You honor your truth and can walk boldly in it when you first recognize it. For validation must be found in God and come from within.
That was good.
Black pride, black power, Wakanda forever. All right, that's it.